Welcome to the Mystic Media channel. I'm your host, Radina Rastavan, aka The Realist Astrologer. And I'm doing a special request video. This is from Leanne. She wanted me to do a video about Keke Wyatt because she has recently been in the news because her husband, Minister, what is his name? Michael Jamar, born Michael Ford, has filed for divorce. And he filed for divorce as she is pregnant. She's 8 months pregnant with I believe it's their second child that they have together, but they have other children in a blended marriage. So in total, she has a total of 8 children, and the ninth is on its way. So she's carrying the ninth child. So I'm just going to read a little bit about her personal life. This is from Wikipedia. Wyatt was 18 years old when she married Ramat Morton, her road manager. An altercation between Wyatt and Morton was widely reported in the urban news circuit in 2001, with Wyatt explaining that she had stabbed her husband out of self-defense and to protect her children. Wyatt filed for divorce from Morton in 2009 after an escalation of domestic violence, relocating her family from Kentucky to Atlanta. Wyatt was pregnant with her 4th child by the end of the marriage but suffered a stillbirth. She remarried in 2010 to Michael Jamar, born Michael Ford, an ordained minister who went to appear with Wyatt in the reality TV show R&B Divas. As of 2013, the couple were raising 6 children together, 3 fathered by Wyatt's first husband and 2 fathered by Ford. The 6th child is her stepchild from Ford's previous relationship. Wyatt and her husband had their 8th child in early 2015. Wyatt announced in April 2017 that she is currently pregnant with her 9th child. In early September 2017, it was reported that the couple were divorcing while she was 8 months pregnant with their 9th child. So she put out a video where she was basically putting him on blast, saying, I don't know why he filed for divorce, being as though I have a child in the hospital and one on the way. So she was really, making it seem like it was all his fault. But when I look at her chart, I could definitely see how she contributed to the situation. She even said that, she admitted that he told her that she lacks emotional control or she's just out of control emotionally, and I definitely see that in her chart. Now, Keke Wyatt was born March 10th, 1982. That makes her a Pisces. And if you know anything about Pisces, Pisces is just a naturally emotionally sensitive sign. So she's just very sensitive emotionally, just naturally being a Pisces. And also, her moon is in Virgo. I don't know what time she was born, so I'm not sure what degree the moon is in, but it is in the latter degrees. So with the time that I have 10:03 a.m. That's just an arbitrary time. But a lot of times my intuition be on point. So her moon is at the 29th degree of Virgo with the chart that I'm looking at, with her birth time being 10 a.m. And to me, that fits her situation. Now, her moon is in square to Neptune and Sagittarius, and that points to her being somewhat victimized, abandoned. It could deal with the situation where having that blended family, having a large family. And then what's interesting is it's meant for her in this lifetime to be very family oriented, to step fully into motherhood, because in past lifetimes she knew nothing of motherhood. She was all about the outside world. She was all about business. So she really didn't have that mothering instinct. So in this lifetime, she needs to develop a mothering instinct, and having a lot of children is actually good for her. Her North Node is at the 19th degree of Cancer. That's motherhood. That's family. That's home life. Basically, her life is supposed to be very personalized. So while she can have a successful singing career, she can't basically devote her entire life to that, which she hasn't, because you can't if you're going to have that many children. So with her North Node being at the 19th degree of Cancer, that 19 breaks down to 10, breaks further down to 1. 1 vibrates to Leo. That's children right there. So that 19 reinforces the theme of children. Her Sun is at the 19th degree of Pisces. 19 again reinforces the theme of children. Also, she has another indicator with that 10 signature is strong in her chart. So she's born on the 10th, and her Jupiter is at 10 degrees Scorpio. So 10 is about cycles. It's about basically where you are largely influenced by the outside world, by others, by whom you form relationships with. oftentimes 10 people feel like they can't make it on their own. They feel like they always need somebody to link up with, or some type of group to link up with. And her life path number is 24, which means that she is supposed to be very relationship oriented in this lifetime. 24 is one of the most fortunate numbers, but because of the aspects that she has in her chart, namely Moon square Neptune, it's hard for her to basically activate that 24 energy in the most positive way. Another reason for that is she has Venus in Aquarius, and it's making a square to that Jupiter in Scorpio. So that could be, that could point to being in a relationship where it's like kind of like artificial. It's not really, there's no really true intimacy. There's no really true partnership. It's more so like a relationship of convenience. And also there's an issue with truth as well. So some truth may be covered up in the process of her getting with a partner. So she could get with a partner where he's not being exactly truthful. He's not being straight up. It can also deal with she lacks freedom in a relationship, where a partner tries to be kind of too totalitarian, too dictatorial. So and Venus in Aquarius, it's just rather hard for traditional relationships because Aquarius is not a traditional sign. However, like I said, with her North Node in Cancer, she is supposed to be very family oriented. Her life path being 24, she's supposed to be about relationships, but that Venus in Aquarius square Jupiter in Scorpio makes it too hard, makes her go to extremes, makes her be too willing to dedicate too much to her partnership. And what speaks to that as well is she has a stellium in Libra, and her Mars is conjoined to Saturn in Libra. She also has Pluto in Libra. So that Mars conjoined to Saturn makes her very prone to get into relationships where there's an imbalance of power. She is attracted to powerful men, or at least power-seeking men. She's attracted to men who are basically like business managers for her, or who are like fatherly. So it's no surprise that she got with the first husband. She got married at 18, very young. That speaks of that stellium in Libra, especially that Mars conjoined to Saturn. So she got married to her road manager. That is the epitome of Mars conjoined to Saturn in Libra. And then the fact with the stabbing as well, that is Mars conjoined to Saturn in Libra, because she said that she was trying to protect herself and her children. And Saturn can deal with security or lack thereof. So that Mars conjoined to Saturn in Libra can point to the domestic violence situation in her first marriage. And also that Mars conjoined to Saturn in Libra makes her too focused on reciprocation. So she's too focused on, okay, I did this for you, you need to do this for me. And she's too much about being in a relationship, being in a marriage, where she lacks individuality. She lacks that whole separateness. She lacks the ability to distinguish herself from the relationship or even from her partner. So in the whole scheme of things, it's easy for her to basically lose it, because she puts so much energy, so much stock. Her whole life becomes that relationship, becomes her marriage, even with her singing career. So even with her getting with Michael Jamar, the fact that he is a minister speaks of that Mars conjoined to Saturn. And also she has, her North Node is in sesame square to Uranus and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the sign of religion, so that could speak to the relationship she has with her husband, the fact that he's basically filing for divorce at this point. And then also that Mars-Saturn conjunction in Libra is squaring that North Node in that North Node in Cancer, South Node in Capricorn. So in this lifetime, she's not supposed to be looking for a manager as a mate, because that speaks of that South Node in Capricorn squaring the Mars-Saturn conjunction in Libra, and it's retrograde, which makes it even worse. So that compounds the issues that she's already dealing with that Mars-Saturn conjunction in Libra. So the fact that it's squaring that South Node in Capricorn, any man that she gets with that is very business-like, or if it's like a business manager marriage type of situation, or if he's taking like a fatherly approach, or even if he's much older than her, that's usually not the way that she should go. Now, I don't know how old this Michael Jamar is. I remember watching R&B Divas a little bit back in the day, but I can't really remember how he was acting. I might have to go back and watch some of the old videos of them and see how their chemistry is. But I didn't even look up to see what his birthday was. But I'm more concerned about Keke Wyatt. But basically, she also has a quincunx between Mars and Libra and Chiron and Taurus. So people with Chiron and Taurus, a lot of times there's something abnormal about their life, and it will deal with what house Chiron falls in and what aspects it's making. So when we're talking about Chiron being in quincunx to Mars and Saturn, that Mars and Saturn conjunction in Libra, there's usually something abnormal about the type of men that she attracts. So I'm not going to get into the details about what's abnormal about this guy in particular, but it could be that they are very possessive. It could be that they are after her money. So it could be a number of reasons why the relationship is abnormal. But she really needs to get with a guy that is very nurturing, very sensitive, that is a family-oriented guy. Now, these two dudes that she married, they may be family-oriented, but it also seems like they have a strong opportunistic streak, and they have this issue with control, hence the domestic violence in the first relationship. And that moon square Neptune she's working with, Neptune's in Sagittarius, that's religion as well, can point to issues with abandonment. And it also speaks of her giving birth to that stillborn child. So she has a pretty bad, oh no, I forgot to also mention her sun is in quincunx to Saturn and Mars in Libra. So that Saturn and Mars in Libra is really doing a job on her life. But it's mainly coming from, it's her motivation. So it's not like it's something that's being done to her. She's seeking these types of relationships out because she's still living through that South Node in Capricorn. So she will never have the type of relationship she's seeking if she continues to go that route. And it's hard for her to live fully through that North Node in Cancer because of that Mars conjunct Saturn in Libra. So she has it pretty hard, even with that life path of 24. But hopefully she'll find the love that she's seeking. But like her husband said, she is working with some emotional problems. With that sun in Pisces, it's making a quincunx to that conjunction, Mars and Saturn. She has a hard time being level-headed. She goes to extremes where her sun in Pisces making a semi-square to Venus in Aquarius. She has this huge sense of entitlement in relationships. And it's basically, she wants to wear the pants, but at the same time, she wants to be with an authority figure. So that never works out well. You can't be in a relationship where you want to wear the pants, but you're going after men that are very dominant, very controlling, and want to take this fatherly, authoritative approach with you. So that's my take on Keke Wyatt. Let me know what you think. Matter of fact, before I wrap this up, I want to look and see where her Juno is. Her Juno is at the 3rd degree of Capricorn. There it is right there. You see what I'm saying? So Juno is the relationship asteroid, but it's more so about what makes your relationships difficult, what makes your relationships hard, what is the main beef in your relationship, what can lead to breakups, what can lead to jealousy, vindictiveness, all of that. So with her Juno being in Capricorn, it's at the 3rd degree, 3 deals with Jupiter, that could point to the religious aspect. Basically, it shows that when she goes after those fatherly types, those business manager types, she loses. So that's my take on Keke Wyatt. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And if you would like a reading, please go to my website at Rabina.com. And Leanne, hopefully you were satisfied with this. Let me know what you think. She's a member of Real Talk Astrology. If you have a love for astrology, I'm going to leave the link to that Facebook group. So join it. And also, what else was I going to say? My Ace of Cups radio show is tomorrow night. It's going to be dedicated to Virgo. So all my Virgo listeners and viewers, you want to tune into that. So I'm going to leave a link to that as well. And Mercury is direct now. Hooray, hooray. So I'm happy for that. But it seemed like once Mercury turned direct, between like the 5th and the 8th, I was having even more phone problems. Not really computer problems, but phone problems. But it seems like things are working out with that now as well. So peace and many blessings. I'll see you soon.